The objective of this interaction is, therefore, to outline the critical role that the Public Service Commission can play in driving a collaborative reengineering of the human capital based on our mandate, long history, and shared responsibility for human resource management and transformation. The Commission monitors and evaluates administrative, organizational, and personnel practices across the public service and hears and determines appeals from county governments. Through its oversight role, the Commission provides a skilled and motivated workforce, thereby positioning the public service to meet the country's evolving development needs. In discharging the mandate, the Commission is guided by the values and principles in Article 10 and Article 232 of the Constitution, the Public Service Act 2017, the Public Service Values and Principles Act 2015, and other relevant legislations. Reengineering human capital in the public service is not just about training, as many would assume. It is a fundamental rethinking and redesign of the processes, structures, and systems that manage and develop the public's workforce across all levels of government. The key components of reengineering are: 1, talent acquisition and retention; 2, performance management and evaluation; 3, professional development and capacity building; 4, strategic workforce planning; and finally, professionalism and accountability.
The Commission is not just a regulator, but a partner in the management of HR for national development. And that is where we are coming from, that we want to develop partnerships to ensure that we have a country that works well.
Reengineering human capital isn't just about restructuring roles, it's about unlocking potential, aligning talent with purpose. So what is the purpose of our county, and how are we aligning our talent with purpose? And transforming service delivery into a dynamic, people-driven advantage. And as long as we don't address the issues of service delivery to our people, the county public service boards will not be helping the political classes and the other sectors of the county. And therefore, our role is very critical. And some of the HR challenges that have come up, apart from, and we know it a lot, there's a general feeling of disillusionment. That's what I feel a lot about people working in counties. So that apart from people who are close to the leaderships at the county level, there's a general disillusionment. For people who we devolved and who are still in the counties, there's a general disillusionment that they want to come back to national government. Every day we sit in the board, we have requests to transfer back. And it's because people are being mistreated. People are not being handled like people. And remember, we are living in a constitutional dispensation that has the human rights aspects very deeply enshrined. The personal dignity of people, very important even for the HR practice. And yet, there's a general feeling of disillusionment. I'm just talking about my experience.
Public Service Board were established under Section 57 of the County Governments Act 2012. Among the tasks, it is to establish and abolish offices in the public service, appoint persons to hold or act in this position in the public service. And number 3, to promote ethical and national standards, among others. With all these mandates, the practice policy gap still persists in the counties. I just want to highlight some of the issues that are creating this gap. One of the issues, which I think even Madam Joanne has mentioned and even the keynote speaker, is inconsistent implementation of the National Human Resource Framework. You'll see that there are variation in interpretation of the Public Service Commission guidelines. As Public Service Board, we borrow from the Public Service Commission guidelines, but you'll find that in each of the 47 county Public Service Board, each one of us interprets those guidelines differently. Lack of harmonized county human resource manuals and SOPs. Each county develop its own manual. Each county develop its own standard operating procedures. Each county interprets what those guidelines are. And that's the main reason that we have a lot of appeal cases in the Public Service Commission as a county public service board.
Why do we have excess workforce in our counties if you have an establishment? You shouldn't do any recruitment if that is not accommodated in your establishment, approved establishment. And you must really stand firm from the executive, because we know the executive is largely very political, especially at the county level. Whenever they go to the ground there and they're under pressure, the first thing they say when they go to the village is absorb this son of ours here and there. But there's no establishment for that position. So it is you to guide these people that we must follow a certain standard. And if there is no room for in that establishment, you shouldn't allow the issue of recruitment, so that we don't end up with a situation where we are in currently, where virtually over 50% of the budget of the counties is going towards PE, personnel emoluments. Then the other challenge then follows. When there is a vacancy, do we develop indents that attract the position or describe the position or the person that you are looking for that position? It is a challenge even at the national government. And the people who are the user departments are the one who are supposed to generate this indent, because they know the kind of person they are looking for. But many of the times we find there is a gap. And we have seen even incidences where that indent is developed or tailor-made to a specific person in mind. I think then that makes the process uncompetitive, because it is done having in mind a specific person. So while you're developing those indents, make sure that the technical people, the HR people, are working with the technical departments in developing that indent.
There are many things that can be done to re-engineer the human capital. And we serve in an environment where, to the Public Service Commission, where we are having individual staff making the appeals directly to Public Service Commission, despite the structured way that is there, going through the Departmental Human Resource Advisory Committee, the County Human Resource Advisory Committee, the County Public Service Board, then thereafter the appeals goes to Public Service Commission. We have had experiences where professionals within the medical services going directly to Public Service Commission and appealing for a case that has not been dealt with even at Departmental Human Resource.
The responsibility of hearing appeals from county by the Commission arises from Article 234.2, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution, which gives the Commission the function and powers to hear and determine appeals in respect of county public service. And recent ruling by High Court has now made things even more tighter by guiding that our decision is final. So that means me and my team must do a watertight ruling, that even if it is appealed at a higher court, it might not be overturned. So the appeals area cover quite a number of areas, including recruitment, selection, appointment, and qualifications attached to any office. That comes when you are doing recruitment. Then remuneration and terms of condition of service, disciplinary controls, national values national values and principles of governance, Article 10 and 232 of the Constitution, retirement and other forms of removal from public office, pension benefit, gratuity and any other terminal benefit, or any other decision the Commission considers fall within its constitutional mandate to determine.
What is the role of independent officers in the performance framework for the county governments?
Counties are facing a challenge. When we are working towards limiting our budget 35% to human resource, and then we develop these guidelines without the input of counties, we have a big problem. I urge that the Commission urgently considers a meeting and probably a seminar together with the county secretaries and the county public service boards, so that we align ourselves and know how to work together in ensuring in future we have no such conflicts.
How can we begin to see to it that we align our work maybe with what has been done by IGRTC? So with the intergovernmental sectoral forums, we can begin to see issues across the sectors, across the functions, and therefore know what is the kind of standards we need, what are the kind of staff establishments we need to have, and so on and so forth. And of course, to also align with some of the statements made that we cannot have policy all the time and legal frameworks but not talk about enforcement. It is really a big disconnect. It's a big gap, and I'm happy that today we are speaking about that in 2027, if we have another DevCon, maybe we will begin talking about this is what we found out and this is what we have been able to do as PSC to align these particular gaps in the counties. Thank you.
The public service, there is a growing trend that is happening always. And as we grow with that trend, many issues will come up. Counties, we have left the stage of now baby crawling. We are at the stage where we can do what Public Service Commission has been doing all those decades. The public service officials within the counties are not inferior to the ones who work within the national government. The issue of capacity is all over. Within the national government, the weak capacity within the public service is there in the national government, it is there in the county government. It is us as officials who try and capacitate our officials to ensure that we meet the demand that public service gives us as we go forward.
And I would want to just comment on the GIZ. Yes, our intergovernmental forums have sort of failed. We have not worked very well in the past 5 years with the counties because of course, resource constraints. And I think if we work closer and harmonize our issues together in a more consistent and structured manner, then a lot of these questions would not come up. And I want to believe that the 2027 conference then will be saying that we have achieved this in the area of HR. Thank you once again.
It suffices to say that we have never had shortage of law in this country on affirmative action and equity in employment in public service and other entities. It was lack of goodwill to implement that has been the problem, which this commission is taking head on. That regulation is one. We are also doing internal policies that will ensure people from such minorities and marginalized groups are given fair share of their fair share, so that we don't continue blaming history forever. Because even now seated here, 5 years from now we join the history. We will have finished our term and gone. So our successors will also blame history, which we become part of. So in our time, we shall ensure that it has moved. But since you are the chair of the the minorities, youth. Don't just have the body and sit there. Engage the employers, including Public Service Commission and all the County Public Service Board. Come forward with your proposals so that we can implement what is implementable, such that that forum have a meaning. Thank you very much.
Listening to the discussions that we've had, go and look at Article 10 and look at Article 232. If we did even 5% of those two articles, we will move this country to the next level. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.